Far from Earth, near a dead star that gave no light or warmth, floated a large metal station. It was not a place anyone visited. It had no name, just a number, Station 9. But those who knew it whispered another name. The vault. Inside the vault, strange things were kept. The alien race called Krillari ran the place. Their skin looked like silver metal, their voices were soft like wind, and their eyes never blinked. They believed in one thing: control. They collected rare life forms from all over the galaxy. Some were animals, some were intelligent beings. All were locked in glass cages. One of these cages was different. It stood in the center of the vault's deepest room. The cage was clear like water, with glowing lights around its edges. Inside sat a girl. She looked no older than 16 in human years. Her hair was dark, her skin pale, and her eyes glowed faintly blue even in darkness. She didn't speak. She didn't move. She didn't age. The Krillari called her Subject K. They didn't understand her. She didn't eat. She didn't sleep. She didn't react to tests or questions. They tried to scan her mind, but the machines gave back strange results. Some Krillari believed she was not alive. Others thought she was too alive. One thing was sure: she was important. They kept her in the glass cage for years. No one touched her. No one dared. On a broken planet nearby, a small ship moved through dust clouds. It was old, with scratched paint and missing parts. Inside, a human sat at the controls. His name was Darren Holt. He was a scavenger. His job was simple: find old alien tech, sell it, and stay alive. Darren had short brown hair, sharp eyes, and a metal arm. The arm was a reminder of a war he had fought long ago. He didn't talk about it. He didn't trust aliens. He didn't even trust most humans. But he trusted one thing: money. He had heard stories of the vault. Most said it was too dangerous to go near. But one broken signal changed his mind. It was a distress call. Old but still active. If the vault had failed, its tech might be free to take. So Darren flew closer. He landed on a hidden platform and sneaked in through a broken vent. Inside, the halls were cold and quiet. He moved like a shadow, using a scanner to map the area. Lights flickered. Machines hummed. He found strange creatures behind glass walls, some sleeping, some awake, some looking at him with sad eyes. Then he saw her. The glass cage stood alone. The girl sat inside, not moving. But when Darren passed by, her eyes turned slowly toward Bio. Him. He froze. Her gaze was calm, not angry or afraid, just watching. He felt something strange, like a whisper in his head. Please, help me. Darren stepped back. He looked around. No one else was near. Who said that? He whispered. I did, said the voice, but not out loud. It was inside his mind, soft, clear, and gentle. He looked at the girl. Her lips didn't move, but her eyes stayed locked on his. Are you talking to me? He thought, unsure if it would work. Yes, I don't know how long I've been here, but I knew you would come. Darren shook his head. This is crazy, he muttered. He turned to walk away, but then heard another voice, a real one. Alien footsteps echoed in the hall. He ducked behind a machine just as two Krillari guards passed by. They didn't see him. Once they were gone, Darren looked back at the girl. She was still staring. Why are they keeping you here? He asked quietly. They fear me. But they don't understand me. Darren frowned. Are you dangerous? The girl blinked slowly. Only to those who lie. Only to those who wish to control. Darren didn't like riddles. He liked straight answers. But something about her voice made him pause. What's your name? He asked. Lyra. That name rang in his head like a bell. Simple. Beautiful. Human. I can help you, Lyra said. But I need your help first. The vault is not. just a prison. It's a door, and it's opening. What does that mean? Darren whispered. But Lyra's voice faded. Her eyes slowly closed. She fell still again, like a statue. Before he could speak again, alarms began to ring. Red lights flashed. Darren had been seen. He ran. He ducked into a vent, climbed through pipes, and found his way to the holding area. But Krillari guards were waiting. A stun field hit him in the chest. He fell, dizzy and weak. As he lost consciousness, he heard one last whisper in his mind, "Please don't leave me." Hours later, Darren woke in a cold metal room. His hands were locked and his tools were gone. A single Krillari stood in front of him, its voice like wind. "You are human, unwelcome, unclean. Why have you come?" Darren said nothing. The Krillari tilted its head. "You saw her, didn't you?" Darren's heart beat faster. "She is not yours to touch, not yours to free." Still, he stayed silent. The Krillari leaned closer. "Your mind is not strong enough to hold her. She will burn you." The door closed. Darren sat alone. But in the silence, he felt it again, a soft voice inside his mind. "You're stronger than you think. They can't stop us. Not if we work together." He looked up, his face calm. He was going to get out. He was going to help her. Darren sat on the cold metal floor of the prison cell. The walls were smooth, without cracks. The door had no handle. There were no windows, no sound, no warmth. He had been trapped before, in battlefields, in broken ships. But this was different. This was quiet, too quiet. Then, once again, came the voice. "You're not alone, Darren." He closed his eyes. The voice was not loud. It didn't hurt his head. It was calm, soft, and full of hope. "Lyra, how do you know my name?" he asked in his mind. "You told me. Not with words, but with your thoughts. Our minds are connected. Now, even through walls." Darren opened his eyes. This was real. He wasn't dreaming. He wasn't sick. He was connected to something or someone that shouldn't even exist. "What are you?" he asked, still in his thoughts. There was a pause. Then she answered, "I don't know anymore. I was human once. But they changed me." His heart jumped. "Human? You're from Earth?" "I was. My parents were scientists. We lived on a colony near the Andromeda Gate. One day the Krillari came. They took me away." Her voice shook a little, like a breeze in winter. "They wanted to study time, memory, thought. They said I had something inside me, a light. They called it a key." Darren frowned. "A key to what?" "To the vault. To the ancient power buried inside it." Back in her glass cage, Lyra sat with her eyes closed. Her face looked peaceful, but her mind was far from calm. She could feel Darren's fear, his doubt, and his pain. He had lost people. He had trusted others, and they had let him down. But he still had courage. She could feel it. "They don't understand what's inside this place," she told him. "It was not made by the Krillari. It's much older." Darren was confused. "Then why are they guarding it?" "Because they are afraid. The vault is not just a prison. It is also a seal. And the thing it holds is waking up." Darren stood up slowly. "All right," he said aloud to no one. "Say I believe you. What do we do?" Lyra's voice came quickly. "You must get out of your cell. There's a maintenance panel behind the wall. Press your metal hand against it." He looked around and saw a faint outline in the wall. He touched it. His bionic arm buzzed softly and a small screen appeared. A quiet click sounded as a secret door slid open. Darren smiled. "Now we're talking." He crawled through a narrow tunnel, following Lyra's directions. Pipes hissed, lights flickered. Every few meters she whispered where to turn, when to stop, and where to hide. "You know this place well," he said. "I've been here for a long time." He passed through dark hallways, past rooms filled with blinking machines. In one room, he saw other creatures in glass cages, some big, some small, some with wings. others with tentacles. All of them stared as he passed. He wondered if they could hear Lyra too. Meanwhile, in the control center, two Krillari watched a screen. One of them tapped the glass with a long silver finger. "Human life form has escaped," it said calmly. "Subject, K is active," the other replied. "She is guiding him. We must increase the psychic dampers. If she connects too deeply, she will regain full power. I will inform the warden." They did not look worried, but they did not understand. The human mind. Not yet. Back in the tunnels, Darren reached a locked room. Lyra's voice came again. "This is the energy room. Inside is the main power core. If you place the disruptor you're carrying, it will short the system for 10 seconds. He blinked. "What disruptor? I lost all my gear when they caught me." Lyra paused. "Check your boot." Darren reached down and felt something inside the heel. A small device was hidden there. He smiled again. "Smart girl." He placed it on the wall. Near the power box, lights flickered. 3, 2, 1, boom. The lights shut off. Alarms blinked. Glass cages around the station began to flicker. Even Lyra's. Back in her room, her eyes opened. The power lines around her cage dimmed. She could feel her strength returning. A warmth spread through her fingers, her feet, her mind. She reached out with her thoughts, stronger now, and found Darren again. "I can see you, I'm close." He ran down a hallway, turned right, then left, and finally stopped. There she was. The glass cage stood before him, but now the shield around it was flickering. Lyra stood inside, watching him with calm eyes. He walked closer. "All right. How do we get you out?" Lyra raised her hand and pointed to a panel on the wall. "Touch it with your hand, I'll guide you." He placed his bionic hand on the panel. Sparks danced. Symbols lit up. His mind filled with images. Doors opening, lights turning, machines slowing. The cage door clicked. It opened. Lyra stepped out slowly. She looked just like a normal girl, but Darren felt a strange energy around her, peaceful but powerful. "Thank you," she said, this time with her real voice. "You were the only one who listened." Darren nodded. "Let's get out of here." But before they could move, a deep sound echoed across the station. Not an alarm, something older, deeper, like the groan of a giant waking from a long sleep. Lyra turned pale. "They've started it." "What?" "They're opening the vault." Darren looked around. "We just shut down the system." "No," she said. "That was only one layer. The real vault is deeper, and it's not a room. It's a mind." Suddenly, walls shook. Lights turned red. A voice spoke across the station in Krillari. "Initiating Phase 0. The vault shall open." Darren grabbed Lyra's hand. "We need to run." She didn't move. "I have to stop it," she said. "But I can't do it alone." Darren looked at her and took a deep breath. "I'm with you." And in that moment, their minds connected again, but stronger this time. His strength became hers. Her light became his. Together, they ran toward the heart of the vault. Behind them, glass cages shattered, and something ancient opened its eyes. Red lights flashed across the vault. Alarms rang like loud bells bouncing off the metal walls. The ground shook as if the station was alive and afraid. Darren ran beside Lyra, his boots hitting the floor with fast, strong steps. Her hand was still in his. Though she looked calm, her eyes showed worry. "What's happening?" he shouted as they turned a corner. Lyra answered softly. "The real vault is deep below this place. Something ancient is inside it. They're trying to wake it up." "Why would they do that?" "Because they believe they can control it." Darren gritted his teeth. "They're wrong." As they moved through a wide hallway filled with glass cages, the lights above them sparked. One by one, the cages cracked. Beings from across the galaxy stirred inside. Some small, some tall. Others shaped like clouds or fire. One cage shattered, loudly. A tall creature with glowing green skin stepped out. It had 4 arms and deep, thoughtful eyes. It saw Lyra and lowered its head in respect. "You are free," it said. Lyra nodded. "We're all free now, but something worse is waking. We need to stop it." The creature stepped aside. "Then, go. I will protect the others." More cages opened. More creatures escaped. Some ran. Some hid. Others stayed, helping free more prisoners. The vault was no longer quiet. It was a storm. Lyra led Darren through a tall door into a hidden room with glass walls and strange machines. Screens showed maps of the station, blinking in red and blue. "This is the control hub," she said. "If we want to reach the lower level, we need to pass through the security zone. Can you unlock it?" "I need time." She sat near the console and placed her hand on the glass. Symbols lit up, moving, like water. Her eyes closed as she connected her mind to the system. Darren stood guard at the door, his ears alert for every sound. "How are you doing that?" he asked in thought. "My mind is part of the vault now. They changed me long ago, but the system still listens to me. I'm turning it against them." A moment later, the floor beneath them opened with a quiet hiss, revealing a metal lift. Lyra stood up. "We go down." The lift dropped slowly into darkness. No lights, no noise. Just the soft hum of energy. Darren looked at her. "You said, this place is alive," she nodded. "It is. It holds memory, power, and something very old. What is it? A weapon? No. A being. A thought that never ends. The Krillari found it sleeping here long ago. They built the vault around it to study and control it. And you?" "They thought I could speak to it." They were right. The lift stopped with a soft thud. A large hallway stretched before them, its walls covered in glowing lines. The air was heavy, like before a storm. Darren felt something move, not around him, but inside his mind. A low hum. "Do you feel that?" he asked. "Yes," Lyra said. "It's awake now." They walked carefully, step by step. At the end of the hallway stood a door larger than anything Darren had seen. It had no lock, no handle, only a symbol, a circle with a single eye in the middle. "It's waiting for me," Lyra said. She placed her hand on the door. The eye lit up. The door opened. Inside was not a room. It was a space that felt endless. No walls, no floor. Just light, mist, and silence. Darren followed Lyra in, though his legs shook. At the center stood a shape. Not a body, not a voice, just a presence. It spoke without words. A deep sound, inside the heart. "You return." Lyra stood tall. "Yes, but not to serve. To end this." The voice echoed softly. "You are the key. You cannot destroy what you unlock." Darren stepped forward. "She's not alone this time." The voice paused. "You are human, soft, small, yet brave." Darren smiled. "Thanks, I guess." The presence shifted like wind turning direction. "Will you face what you fear?" Lyra nodded. "We both will." Suddenly the space changed. The mist spun fast. The air became cold. Images appeared. Memories. Lyra saw her parents, her old home, the day she was taken. Pain rushed back. Darren saw his old squad. Friends he had lost, promises he had broken. His hands shook, his knees bent. "It's not real," he whispered. But it felt real. The presence spoke again. "Fear is power. Power controls. You are not ready." Lyra took Darren's hand. "No," she said. "We are ready. Together." Their minds joined once more, stronger than before. Their thoughts touched. Their fear turned into light. A soft glow filled the space. The presence cried out, not in pain but in surprise. "You bring something new. Trust." Back in the vault's upper levels, the Krillari saw the energy surge. "They've reached the core," said one guard. "Then, we must stop them." But it was too late. Inside the core, Lyra's light grew. Darren stood beside her, steady and sure. The presence began to fade. Your bond changes the pattern. The vault is no longer sealed. It is free. With a sound like wind blowing through leaves, the space folded and disappeared. Darren and Lyra fell to the ground. Real ground now. They had returned. The great door behind them closed on its own. The vault no longer needed to be locked because what was inside was now at peace. They made their way back to the control hub. The station was quiet now. Many of the prisoners were gone, safe or hiding, but some had stayed behind. The green-skinned creature met them again. "You have done what none could do," it said. "You stopped the darkness." Lyra nodded. "It's over." Darren looked around. "So, how do we get out of here?" The creature smiled. "Come. A ship waits for you." In the docking bay, an old Krillari transport stood ready. Darren and Lyra stepped inside. The engines hummed. The stars outside twinkled like eyes watching their journey. As the ship lifted off, Darren looked at her. "You okay?" She smiled. "I am now." He smiled back. "Next time, let's avoid ancient space prisons." She laughed softly. Next time. They flew into the stars, away from the vault, toward a future neither of them could yet see. But one thing was certain. They were no longer alone. The cold stars shone outside the sanctuary as Darren and Lyra prepared for their final mission. The Krillari warship was not far. Its power was growing. If it reached the vault again, everything would be lost. Dr. Mara stood before the group. Her voice was calm but firm. "We must stop the Krillari fleet before it reaches the vault. If we fail, the Eternal Mind will be forced to obey them. That means war, destruction, and loss of freedom." Darren looked at Lyra. "Are you ready?" Lyra nodded. More than ever, the team boarded a fast ship built for speed and stealth. Darren took the pilot's seat. Lyra sat beside him, her fingers glowing softly with power. As they entered Krillari space, the tension grew. The dark ships appeared like shadows in the stars. They were many and powerful. Darren's hands moved quickly over the controls. "Hold on," he said. "This won't be easy." Suddenly, the ship shook. Energy blasts hit the shields. The Krillari fleet had spotted them. "Engage evasive maneuvers," Darren shouted. Lyra closed her eyes. Her light spread like a shield around the ship. Together, they moved through the battle, fast, smart, and strong. The sanctuary team fought bravely, using new technology and teamwork. The sky lit with flashes of light, fire, and energy. During the fight, Lyra felt a pull in her mind. The Eternal Mind was calling her again. It was stronger now. It needed her. She told Darren, "I must connect to it. It's the only way to stop this." Darren nodded. "I'm with you." They found a quiet place on the ship. Lyra closed her eyes and reached deep inside her mind. The light grew. The room filled with energy. Suddenly she was inside the Eternal Mind, a world of color and sound. Inside the mind, Lyra faced a shadow, a dark, swirling shape that wanted control. The shadow spoke, "You cannot stop me. I am power. I am time." Lyra stood tall. "You are only fear and anger. I bring hope and trust." The shadow moved fast, trying to push her back. But Darren's voice came through. "I'm here, Lyra. You're not alone." Their minds joined. Their light grew brighter. The shadow screamed and began to fade. "You are stronger than I thought," it said. "But I will return." Lyra smiled. "And next time, we will be ready." The light spread out, touching stars, planets, and hearts. The Eternal Mind was free. Back on the ship, the Krillari fleet began to retreat. Dr. Mara's voice came over the comm. "We've won the battle, but the war is not over." Darren and Lyra looked at each other. They were tired but full of hope. "Where to now?" Darren asked. Lyra smiled. Home, to rebuild, to protect. The sanctuary became a new home for many. Humans and aliens worked together, sharing knowledge and strength. Darren and Lyra stood on the deck watching the stars. We changed the future, Darren said. Lyra nodded. Because we believed in freedom. And each other. The stars shone bright, like the light inside them. The end.